I am not sure how to approach situation with partner. For the past 3 years, I have been in a relationship with my partner. For all but 2 months of this time, she has lived with me in a flat owned by my family. When we started dating there were some signs that something was a bit off with her family, but it was very different that I initially could have guessed. Long story short on this is she got dropped off after one of our dates one night and I got a call or text that her mother had attacked her and her stepfather had to break it up. Her mother is pure crazy. History of violence, partner, and her siblings were removed from the home when they were kids after she beat one of her siblings. I did not call the cops that night at her request, also for a reason I don't think is relevant here / is long, but we got her out and she moved in. It wasn't my idea, was actually a family member's at the time, as I do not own the property, but I was okay with it. When we started dating she wanted to finish uni to become an attorney. She always said that guys have their goals and careers in order, be moving forward, etc. We saw eye to eye on a lot of values and continued. I will try to simply state events and facts because I want honest advice, but this isn't easy. She was removed from the first uni she went to after failing 3 semesters straight. COVID also had her sent home and she would continue classes online. She changed schools after she moved in and has not passed any semesters since. She changed majors a couple times and is now looking into finance. Altogether she has failed 16 semesters in a row. She has 1 year of school down, but needs 5 more years for what she wants. The school will not even consider her an enrolled student towards a degree because of the grades. She takes individual classes. Due to finances and being in foster care for a bit, she used to get more than the entire amount of her tuition covered, plus a refund of thousands. This stopped after her GPA remained under a 2.0 for a long time. She pays for her car and her car insurance, but that is all. My family and I pay all bills regarding food, housing, gas, electric, etc. Since my family owns the flat I get half rent to help me save for a home, and they get help with things as they get older and went down towards retirement. She makes $1,200 to $1,500 working 3 days a week as a server at a nearby steakhouse I helped her find when she moved. She doesn't like the job, but likes the amount she can make in a 2 to 3 day span. She has really been pushing for things like a home, talking about kids, and more, but I just don't see it. All the money she makes goes towards shopping and unnecessary spending, other than singular bills like her car. She has tens of thousands in loans at high interest rates, but instead shops and spends instead of paying them down more. Example being in 2022 we reviewed her 2021 finances after she asked for help and had spent over $16,000 on Amazon, etc. and other miscellaneous online stores. I don't even have room in the flat anymore. She is sweet and supportive, genuinely a kind person. She does do things like stop at the store or pharmacy for me when needed. One other area though is that she is not interested in any of my hobbies, or even open to trying them, when in the past she stated she wanted to, thus causing confusion throughout that. She was very rude last and dismissive when we went to an outing with my longest friend and a group of others. I have become secluded in large, but some is due to me burying myself a bit in work. I started a job I really like and pays well last year. I paid off all my loans and have begun saving for a home and investing into the future. It's a lot since even simple tasks are not getting done and left to me to bear even further, and I am not by any means saying she should be doing them all, but neither should I, including picking up after her. Examples: cleaning up her clothes, making the bed, making all meals or she won't eat, sometimes makes breakfast, random messes, cleaning kitchen, bathroom, and appliances. Items of the sort, you get the point. If she needs anything, it's straight to texting me. Intimacy just is not the same, but keep that out of it for now as I don't see that as causing as many, not to say zero by any means, issues. She sees a counselor every week, sometimes multiple times. I have helped her receive medical care and other things as needed, sometimes even paying / taking her. Here is why these details matter and why it gets tough. I have tried for over a year to get her to understand what the issues are and why this cannot continue as is. She will become rude with my family members for the littlest things. Example being when she dumped all her clothes in the middle of the floor in an adjoining area from our flat's laundry room in the basement and my family's, causing people to trip, and just be a general mess. She will project her issues on me and I simply can't take it anymore. She won't contribute. Claims she has been too busy to do, won't do anything other than what she wants. Zero progress to the future in 3 years. This is the surface, but if more is needed to get a full picture, I can add and edit to provide. I cannot wait, nor do I want to. I want to build a life with someone. I want to have a nice work-life balance. I want to have a steady future. I just want to be me again. I do care for her as a person, just no longer in that way. I do not know where she would go if I broke it off. She truly has no other family, at least not in the country, that did not abuse her or blame her for leaving. I am afraid not only for that, but her mental health as well. I am afraid she may do something to herself or say something about me out of spite, which could impact my job/life. Would it be best to talk to her therapist first? Has anyone gone through the same or similar? What's a good way to even approach this without it being a complete mess? I am aware there will be some no matter what. I just hear too many stories about someone ruins life because they said out of spite. She has done this before when exaggerating stories about past events, not ones related to our relationship. I have power of attorney for essentially everything since she doesn't have family and she needed to have a backup, God forbid something happened. Next story 2. Am I in the wrong for making plans with my mom on the same day my boyfriend had plans for us? My BF got mad at me for making plans with my mom because I didn't know he had plans for us on the same day. So, my boyfriend and I have been together for almost 2 years and we live together. I've been asking him to take me on dates recently because I want to spend time with him, and while he is working in office this month, I don't really have much time out of the house. I'm doing school online and I'm looking for a job, but so far I haven't made it past the interview phase. This also means he makes the money in our relationship and pays the bills. I understand that asking him to take me on dates knowing I cannot contribute much money is rude, so I've come up with some free options as well as downloading an app called Eventbrite to look for things for us to do. We have not yet done anything, and his most recent response when we have talked ABT this is that he doesn't feel comfortable even going to do free stuff when he doesn't have money to spend. I understood this as I know my living with him impacts how much he is making. It is important to note this conversation happened this past week. We ended the conversation with me saying I understood if we couldn't do anything for a bit, but I would appreciate spending time with him, and him saying we could do SMTH on the upcoming weekend. Now, flash forward to this weekend. Saturday morning comes up. We're sitting in bed and I ask him what he wants to do today. He says he wants to go get groceries, so we get ready together and go to get groceries. Later in the day, about 3:45, he goes to get a haircut. While he is gone, about 2 hours, I am talking to my mom and asking if I can come over because to my knowledge, I had no plans that day and I was getting bored staying at home. I text my boyfriend that I might go to my mom's at the beginning of his haircut, about 4 p.m. His response is, okay. I tell him to show me his hair when he's done, and that's the last time we talk until about 6. When he's done, he texts and asks me when I'm going to my mom's, and I tell him I didn't know yet because I was still waiting. His responses were short, so I asked him if everything was okay and his entire tone changed. He said, "Nah," and I asked him what was wrong. Basically, an argument ensued over me not being available for him to spend time with because he had apparently had plans for us. Being surprised by this, I told him I was not trying to miss this opportunity and would cancel with my mom if he wanted to spend time with me. He told me no and that I had ruined his mood and to just go. I was upset by this and felt uncomfortable going with my mom because I thought he would feel like I didn't care that he was upset. I told him I'll just stay home and he insisted I leave. My plans with my mom ended up falling through though, so I just sat outside in the front yard and cried. He came home when he thought I was gone, but when he saw I was still there he walked right past me without talking to me. I sat outside until it got dark and then he finally texted me asking me if I was just sitting outside and why. He didn't apologize or say anything about it to me. I tried to start a conversation with him about it later in the night because he wouldn't talk to me in the moment and he said he didn't want to talk about it. When I finally got him to a point of conversation, his answers were just monotone apologies and he barely responded to what I said. I feel so bothered by this and I hate it. I want to let it go, but I feel like he just got mad for no reason and it honestly made me feel like he was just making an excuse to not have to take me out at all. I don't understand what to do. Comment. Please move back home, for your own sake. You've been together for almost 2 years, meaning this was a 16-year-old and 26-year-old. On top of that, you were made to feel guilty about spending time with your family when you had no prior knowledge to the plans. He never had any plans. He just didn't want you spending time with other people. That's isolation and abuse. Then he didn't give two craps about you crying. This isn't a relationship, this is textbook grooming. Not only are you an 18-year-old in a relationship with someone way too old for you, but you started a relationship when you were a minor? Red flags, jail, red flags, red flags. Much older people who date other people much younger than them often do so because children and legal adult children are easier to mold and control. Your brain is going to fully develop around 25 to 30 and you're going to look back on this relationship one day and be perplexed how a 28-year-old could be in a relationship with an 18-year-old, let alone a 26 and 16-year-old. Your boyfriend is a pedophile who groomed you as a child. Nothing else about this post matters but that. Jesus Christ, what a mess. I need you to read your own post as if a friend was telling you what you wrote. And then give that friend some advice. Then use that advice yourself. This is why teenagers shouldn't date 20-somethings. He has already figured out women his own age won't tolerate his BS. That's why they date malleable teenagers who don't know any better.